Andrew McCART, IFL TV in association with MTK Global. I'm here with Kevin Barry, trainer of Joseph Parker. Did Joseph make a statement? Is that the performance you wanted to see in there?
Look, I think he showed that he's got heavyweight power. You know, we were looking for the knockout tonight. I think it's very important the fact that we've been fairly inactive. It's our first fight in 8 months after the frustrations of 2019. We wanted to make a bit of a bang tonight, and the knockout is what we were looking for, and that's what Joe delivered in round 5.
Did you make a statement tonight, you and Joe, going into this fight, stopping Shondell Winters? Do you think you made that sort of mini statement you needed to do?
You know, I think the most important thing for us tonight was to get a win. Secondly, Shondell Winters is a guy that, he's coming off 2 very impressive victories. He's now got Lou DiBella as his promoter because he's knocked out 2 of Lou's guys. And I know his team was actually very confident coming into the fight tonight against Joe. But look, we prepared very well. I think Joe knew after the first round that he had the measure of this guy and probably relaxed a little more than he should have. The double jab worked brilliantly for a start, and I think we could have stayed behind it for a few more rounds. But Joe he went looking for the knockout, which meant he got in closer than I would have liked, and hence the head clash in the 4th round.
How do you assess Joe's performance and Joseph's performance? I mean, he's been 10 months out of the ring. It was well documented that the spider bite. At least he's embracing the spider bite with the t-shirts and stuff like that. He's going about doing the Spider-Man sign. But as a coach, your head's always in the game. How do you assess his performance? Did he go there and execute the way you wanted to?
Look, we set very high standards, and our goal hasn't deviated. We want to become the world champion again, and to do that, you've got to perform at a very high level every time you enter the ring. And sure, we can say, well, we haven't fought for 8 months, and there was a bit of rust there, but we had a good camp. Joe was well prepared. Look, I think it was probably, if you ask me to score it, I think it's probably a B-. Joe has a lot more to offer. And the fact that if we can get back into the ring in June or July this year with a much less break, I think we'll see a lot more from Joseph Parker.
I said to Joe as well that obviously with an activity you want to be in the ring again. He wants to be, you mentioned there that you want to be world champion again. To be world champion again, you need to beat these top guys at the top. Now, Dillian Whyte-Povetkin fighting each other, Usyk, Chisora, Joshua, Pulev, Wilder, Fury have just fought. What kind of name are you hoping for in June then? Obviously you need a big name to propel yourselves back in the top spot.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that's very, very evident in the heavyweight division is things change very, very fast. And, I mentioned to Eddie the other day, look, we know that Whyte's fighting Povetkin. We know that Chisora's fighting Usyk. Any of those guys get injured, any of those guys for any reason at all can't fight, we'll step in. We've got to be ready to take all those big opportunities. Sure, we don't know which way we're going at the moment, but one thing is for real. You've got to be prepared to step up if the opportunity presents itself.
Would you like the winner of either Whyte-Povetkin, Chisora-Usyk? Stupid question.
100%. Of course we would. You've got to fight guys like that if you're going to get back to winning the world title or putting yourself in a position to fight for the world title again. You have to beat guys like that.
Do you have anyone in particular? Do you have a preference on who you want to fight?
No, look, not really. We know there's a lot of tough guys out there. There's the guys we just mentioned. Then there's Oscar Rivas. There's Andy Ruiz. There's Kaunaki. All good fighters. All just below the top echelon of the Fury, Joshua, and Wilder. And we've got to get amongst that mix. We've got to fight those guys just below.
I know you. One more question. I know you're anxious to go out there, enjoy the fights, and have a couple of beers. I heard you say. When can we see Joseph Parker winning a world title? Like you say, anything can happen in boxing. Do you think it's possible that we can see Joseph fighting for another world title this time next year?
Look, I tell you what. Who thought last year that Andy Ruiz was going to be fighting in Madison Square Garden? No one. Okay, so you have to be ready. Opportunities present themselves all the time. You've got to stay fit, you've got to stay focused, and you're not in this boxing game for a long time. So you've got to when you're at this level, you've got to make the most of every opportunity. I haven't got a crystal ball, but one thing I will tell you is we're going to stay ready and we're going to be prepared, and if the opportunity presents itself, we're going to be there. and make the most of it.
Definitely. Well, Kevin, I won't keep you much longer because you want to go and grab them beers. I know you do. I'm going to come and join you maybe. But thanks for this IFL TV, and it's a pleasure to meet you in Vegas last
Hey,
week.
it's always great on IFL TV. I always make myself available to the
You
guys.
certainly do. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kevin.
Pleasure.